Hello, hello. How are people doing? How are you doing, Acity? Glad to see you here. Are you ready for some more of Phoenix Wright? We're going, if I remember correctly, we have the fake Phoenix that's going on the stand now. And I think that hopefully this will be the last section of this case. I can't remember if this game has notified Nickel for every time this week War Thunder had some secretive plans released. There was 2 this week? I thought there's only 1 this week. How are you doing, Dar? How are you doing, Fat Viking? Oh, new characters. Oh, it's not much, but it's weird it happened twice. I know the F-16 stuff got leaked. I didn't hear about anything else getting leaked. Also, Fat Viking, you mentioning that. I was talking to Asti before. Something like the F-16 yesterday and the F-15E today, because of course they did. You know what? It's like militaries don't go do this whole James Bond shit to get information on other nations' military capabilities. They don't send in spies or drones or anything. They just start an argument on a War Thunder forum and just let everything work out how it's going to naturally. But yes, what you're saying, Fat Viking, with the new characters, I was saying to Asti, I really, really am in the mood to start a Star Trek Adventures game again. Might look into it. Might do another stream where we look into the Star Trek Adventures book and figure out the system properly, that kind of thing. But anyways, yes, back to the game. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? Well, I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now. He said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumping about, Detective? Your hair is standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Arg! I'm trying to get the voice back. It doesn't feel like it's the same voice. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal, anything. Well, hey, I want to take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. Just going, yeah, see? Yeah. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True, that's some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag. We're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? The prints... Oh, this is gonna be important, isn't it? Fuck. Identified fingerprints. I'm guessing it's this? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey. That's a small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this up to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. Yeah, see? That's pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. 8th of January. Robble. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. God, how is this guy not gay? Asti, just because you see someone you like doesn't mean how can they not be gay. Also, we don't know if he is or not. Witness? Please state your name and occupation for the... Well, I'm not going to do the grarg every time. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there too. Would you mind what you say to me? Nothing, I didn't say nothing, honest. You could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge. I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was. The judge hid. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare, the relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that holds you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course, well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Put an accent on it? Put an accent on what? I'm not good at accents, Dar. Phoenix Wright. Yes? You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? No, maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. Maya, you're still under the table. The tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. How are you doing, Toxie? That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Okay, there, now it's working. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Ah, thus I found my pen. Very well then. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination... Ah! What is it? Please, witness. If you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. So, like, has anyone brought up that this guy has red skin? No, because you aren't racist, Toxie. God. Sheesh. I mean, really? God. Lowlife? Me? And apparently this is a tan or something. Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm going to bill you $50,000 and you're going to borrow the cash from me. No wonder I like Ashley. There, now you admit she's a space racist. Ah, that's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't going to hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Ah, I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I'm going to catch my bus. Japan loan's bad, okay? She is... I'm more annoyed that people think she's just a space racist. I mean, I'm sure certain people weren't just racists. But they're remembered for being just racists. Also, Toxie, I was thinking of maybe at some point trying to do the odd Star Trek Adventures game again, if you're still interested. I'll try to make it better than last time. And I might do a stream where I go through the book and we all try to discuss the rules and see if we can actually figure it out fully once and for all. She's also into keeping aliens as pets. Yeah. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Refresh my memory of the rules for that. Me too, to be honest. So I'm going to save. I have a feeling I can only press specific things. Top of the business. I'm guessing the first thing is a trap. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know? You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? I need to press harder on that. Mr. Tigre, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is dead end, right? No, it's not! Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I had never seen that young kid before. Do you believe the witness's last statement was important? Mr. Godot, if you could please. Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Save. You didn't know Mr. Glen Elg, really? I don't mess with the guppies when there are bigger fish to fry. What do you say, boss? Who? Me? I was about to hit you with a fat $200,000. Well, I was thinking about purchasing a nice car from Europe. He's seriously considering this. Wow, the Tiger's a really good salesman, huh? No, he's not. Yeah, and if I want to sell this case, I need to copy him. I bet you hit him with a fat piece of evidence, boss. Wish it was that easy. Okay. What about this? Yeah. Colsta, how are you doing? Here, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg. But it appears Mr. Elg knew you. What? Doing a bit better? That's good. Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. Yeah, thanks, Judge, we know. So, Mr. Tigra? I want to say Tigra. I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Grr, ha ha ha. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry. I was just messing with you to see how good you were. No, you were lying. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. The lies will not be tolerated. You just call me a liar? Is that what you doing? Raggy? So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You'd better believe that's the truth. Jinkies. Then I'll say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. Didn't know Scooby was a judge. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigra. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Okay, what is he gonna say now? I ain't no liar, I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. Set up a meeting with the guy at my office, tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint he's here. I know what to present for that. I see, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? No wonder Scooby ain't the recent series, he's too busy being an incompetent judge. Yeah, well, at least he isn't getting train wrecked like Velma is. I ain't gonna make my bus now, I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? No, it's not. The victim Glenalg. I think I know what to present on. Save. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. Trying to make an understatement for that. Present. Where is it? There it is. Mr. Tigra, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you was talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. That shit is toxic dumpster bathed in nuclear fire. It's like they had the idea of let's write a modern person of color as Velma. Like, sure, yeah, that's fine, but it seems so forced and empty that it's kind of doing a disservice to the original point of it. Order, order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. The jokes are also unfunny as hell. Yeah. I ain't no pussycat, I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright. I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenalg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Tribulations. Now, I'm still going to get punished if I press the wrong thing. Supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was going to be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. It's also kind of not fine. It's still a race swap, which basically never serves purpose other than pushing agenda. Yeah, so my opinion on it is that making the cast more diverse, sure, yeah, go for it, fine. It almost seems like a parody, though. It seems like they went into like a whole like meme amount of things with it, which again does it a disservice. I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it, if I wait around here any longer, I ain't even going to make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh, no problem. Anytime Tried presses you on something relevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paying. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying you're wrong, Toxie. And I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is I'm okay with it making more diverse. They just did it wrong. Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? We're going to save here. Because I'm not getting any penalties. Lovely scene. The guy that over the table is stiff as concrete. I split, heard the cop sirens on the way out. So... What am I missing? Coffee stain potassium, winning ticket, more Maggie. Bag is empty, found a tender lender. Create virus fantasy worth millions. Tenderly handmade lunchbox. Delivered for cranial surgery. I guess I have to press something. Let's try this. I mean, you saw Glen Elg's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat. And what time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I'm going to pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tiger, what winds you up the second most? Huh? What do you think? Square watches. Oh, hell yeah. Maple gave me a tier 1 sub for 1 month to his channel. If you're watching, thank you very much. Is this guy for real? Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place. Let's see. So he didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then. The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. A detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking $5 home. Poor gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. You went straight back to the office. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? Gonna tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide, like this! The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? You've done it again, Mr. Wright. Another relevant line of questioning. Must impose a penalty accordingly. What a penalty for those 2 jokers and the garbage they keep coming up with. Well, Nick, what do you think? He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. Okay, so the later things didn't count. Fuck it, I have nothing. So meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lender at all, then? The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen, if there's any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come? That's why I decided to meet at Tribulations? Huh. You're going over old ground again, Trite. Sorry. You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down. You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Wright, and you will like it. Thank you, sir. May I have another? An ugly scene? What do you mean? The witness has already told us, Trite, which makes the question irrelevant. But... Okay, I'm gonna get a few penalties. Limit yourself to 70 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. Better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Trite. Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Ashen! Don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright. Guess I shouldn't have pressed him on that. Guess I'm gonna make that express after all. So, to recap, this ugly scene you saw was... Okay, so I've pressed everything. I want to save here. So everything is... I've pressed everything. The place wasn't hot already. It was gonna be, so I split. Heard the cop sirens on the way out, and I went straight back to my office. The incident called the police by payphone. This wasn't hot already. It was gonna be, so I split. But the table stuff is concrete. Huh. So, Ryan, how are you doing? Glad to have you here. What? Oh wait, hold on a ticket. Hold on a second. He couldn't have seen him. No, come on. Present the floor plan. That is the fake Phoenix. That is Mr. Tigra, or the Tiger. You're something of a lone collection pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigra? No one escapes the Tiger's clutches, but I'm something of a lie detection pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. God damn it. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? Phoenix, you're right. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you're standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigra. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'd remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Literally, Satan is on the stand and we're deliberating whether or not he committed the crime. He's also the one that impersonated Phoenix. Yeah, Zinniop. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. No one could tell that Phoenix Wright isn't normally bright red. Apparently the excuse was he had a short holiday in Hawaii, and thus is very tanned. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. What about the scar? You know, holiday in Hawaii, you got the scar. Oh well, that's very convincing. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim, witnessed by Mr. Kudo, was not Glenelg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted as a charade. Is this cornered or is this objection? This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Obviously. The killer is Furio Tigra. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Grahaha. Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigra. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Ha, perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no. The servant girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. There's a question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put poison in the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Oh. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last, Trite? It was in my pocket. Ahem, but anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it was possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? It was, of course, this murderer. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. He's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Ominous dots. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's alright, I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I want to give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think. Did he make a pass at you? I think it's more of a thing of if he needs a defense attorney, you'd go to Phoenix or something. I don't know. You got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, yous hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Ah. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. For fuck's sake. I haven't got job offers while arresting people. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned Elg cash, about $100,000. That day, he was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming, yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. What testimonies can you give in court anyway? Typically, if you're impeached after the first one, no one really believes you. You might be brought back, but no one can really trust you. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the VIG to take into the account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Okay, let's save. And I can't do irrelevant pressing. That day, he was due to have a little chat to get his payback date, see? He wants cash. Says he got no way to pay up. But if that guy starts screaming, yes, he got lucky, real lucky. Had nothing else you'd done, everything would have been over. Tells me he's got no way to pay up. Let's see. Kill the kid, claim the ticket isn't signed, and he knows where the ticket was bought, then how much did he have left on his debt? You want it in round figures? About $100,000. That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. What? You telling me he wasn't even going to pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elg. That guy was smooth, I tell you, he was real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. That's what he says to me. The guy then calls me the Tender Tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. When you start screaming, that's irrelevant. Let's press this. Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time? I don't remember. If there is no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at the time. But the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning. Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Ah. The undying belief that your next roll will end with the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler. It makes it sound so cool. Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and you got lucky in the end. That waitress hadn't done... Says Maya. Yeah. The waitress? You mean... the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. What do you mean, things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before the waitress got in the way. Tough on the witness testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you'll amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. The tiger's motive, huh? After the 100,000. This. Yeah, the CD. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. Kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber will be worth several $1 million in the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly, man. If computer viruses are worth that much, they must be swimming in money. Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he's by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. What if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? We didn't specify 1 million, but sure, why not? In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do yous know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost 1 million yen. And yet, when the repayment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. What is a HMO? No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital went up as dead as the morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order, order, order. You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. You say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. I think you mean Japanifornia? Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenelg's life to pay your debt. Yes, the city of San Francisco. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenelg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 in the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenelg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenelg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But he wasn't. Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money, too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order, order. Silence or I will clear the grow up, okay. You just put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, I created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you were very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna save now, because I feel like I'm gonna have to present evidence and not have a chance to save. What do you feel us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Oh. And what's the relevance of that, Trite? It's just a little intro. An intro to what? Okay. Load. I thought it was because he put the poison in. Maybe it's because he put the ticket in. It's going to be the same. Shake his head, drink, shake his head, drink. Okay, so that didn't work. This trick you say performed to frame the accused. What was the trick used to frame the accused? Yeah, that's what I was going to go for next. Yes, there we go. I was thinking, was it the fact that that something was put in her pocket? Because that was used to frame the accused. So, the pin is more of a stretch than what I presented. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, Now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here at this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Is that multiple ways of illegal? Oh, hells yeah. Like, he's gonna have murder and a whole bunch of other stuff on it. But here, people get the death penalty, so... Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove that the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? I prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Gulp. Hey. Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Yeah, I know. Mr. Godot was right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with a vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But far more conclusive than against Maggie. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenelg, you say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Come on, where's Gumshoe with that evidence? Huh. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're going to get mauled. You've got that? All I managed to do here was chase him around a bit, but I was so close to getting to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. Where is Gumshoe? Where is Gumshoe? This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Hold it. Yep, thought so. Your Honor, sir. Your Honor, sir. Wait. Detective? Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? It's obvious, pal. It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Yeah, Gumshoe. Isn't Gumshoe, like, the best? Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, or from this medicine bubble. Oh, so, do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. Hehehe. You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. Well, what's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe's got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but... It doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? Need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the Tigre put poison in Glenelg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, it really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Managed to make Tigre completely disappear. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This is our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me? Oh, he is learning. So sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry, I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait. He's gone. Is there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Part of me was wondering if I failed to choose the right bit of evidence. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that'll actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you going to waste? I ain't been to no court before. But these lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm already backed into a corner here. Would you say you're cornered? Maybe he thinks he got me beat. He let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. This final decisive piece of evidence to the court. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Knows this bottle contains. Except for one man, one person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle, is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. The perfect excuse for some phony evidence. I'm not so sure, Phoenix, but sure, whatever. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to say the poison. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Hahaha, you'd make a good clown, you know that? What? You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? He's straight through you, Miss Phoenix, right? That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. This is what I found traces of the poison in. Yeah, but he's saying now that he knows which bottle it is. Yeah, he's saying what bottle is in it. He's saying, yeah, this is the bottle with the poison. And the tiger is going, oh no, that's not. That's the bottle with the poison. Also, canonically, Phoenix Wright does get disbarred at one point in his life. The bottle had cyanide specifically. The cyanide bottle was brown. It was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it. Yeah, Godot knows. Got him, at last. Well, what? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is the bottle is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. Wish I'm going to find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you, people. That lawyer's was playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. Grr. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. Yous don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. Just admit that in open fucking court. Fucking how, their lawyers. Because apparently he presented fake evidence in a trial that he didn't know was faked. And he got disbarred for it. And one, I think in the first Apollo Justice game, you defend Phoenix against murder. And I think convince him to retake the bar and become a lawyer again. You think I'm going to let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. That's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Grr. More shaking. Oh, is this the breakdown? Rar. Phoenix's eyes. Oh, what's going on? That's not... You can't just take the test again. It depends on... It might be a thing of one of the cases might have been proving Phoenix innocent of that. Innocent of knowing about the evidence. And though, even though he'd stopped being a lawyer long enough that it was like 7-8 years since he was disbarred, so I think he had to take the bar again to get it back. I think it's a case that what's his face? Apollo Justice does. What's going on? Looks like a blackout. Well done, Wright. I say my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. She has the saddest look of all the defendants. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. God damn it, Judge. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenelg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Bizarro Tigre is truly a frightened criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot? Literally the smartest thing the judge has ever said. Did you not hear the row? And it's a stupid rhyme. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court has found the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Wait. Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. Just hug already. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony, then? Huh? Huh? Oh. Well, I was. Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Though, like, she still isn't ready to forgive him. Could you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Let me save so I can present the right thing. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know, I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. It's going to be the food, isn't it? Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. Hasn't that been in our pocket since, like, yesterday? That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. He said he likes them thick. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know? Because Gumshoe's so bad at his job that he's usually just wrong. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know? Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how's it, Maggie? It's been in Phoenix's briefcase for a whole day. Is it still okay? It's really good. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. So when is she going to be the murder victim? Because her look is horrific. Episode 3 ended. Oh, there's 5 cases? Interesting. Turnabout beginnings. Now, the weenies were spiked with cyanide. Yes, I will save, thank you. Turnabout beginnings. There are 5 cases in this game. I did not realize. The girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer. And like kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The bang. Is Phoenix in hospital? I'm reading through the file of an old court case. Or is he just in bed? It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Interesting. Name Terry Falls. Kidnapping, murder. Then his death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. Terry Falls, yeah. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey first trial. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court. Okay, here's a question for chat. Do you prefer the 12-hour clock or the 24-hour clock? I prefer the 24-hour clock myself. Military time is different from the 24-hour, as far as I know. Military doesn't have the colon in the middle, I think. Military times is like 0400, 0430. kind of without the colon. 24-hour clock is, people don't really talk in 12-hour, but 24-hour for anything written. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Eek. Ah, good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Degenerates, all of you. I'm sorry that we can count past 12. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? Ugga, eek. I'm sorry. Is he just fucking eating the metal ball? Look, I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But, Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. I told it a lie. Oh boy. What is up with his face, anyway? But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Ugga. I'm really, really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. Yeah. 2 years ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. And about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. Man, I've never heard of a double negative. The police believes that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true, he did meet with the victim, but I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive, it's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Huh. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. This is Godot. Before the mask. And in red. As opposed to blue. That's Godot. I mean, look at his outfit. Look at everything from that point down. Look at his hair. Except his hair is not white. I didn't care who he was before he put on the mask. Goddamn, Costa, that was good. Why are you here? Came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. See, even like that smile. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Huh, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. Wait, wasn't he killed by Dahlia? Possibly Dahlia Hawthorne? After this case? Because remember, Dahlia Hawthorne is accused of... So he dies on the same day that this case happens. Right? Maybe he got better. He got shepherd. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. I have a feeling this might be a short chapter to preface the next one. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time. The solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him. But not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. And he still has coffee. Oh god. I can't do a Canadian accent. The court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Yes, you can do it, gee, bud. You have to. I don't know if I can. I've never really done a Canadian accent before. Look, wee babby face. Babby face with more elaborate clothing. Prosecution's been ready for a while, Your Honor. Babby edgy. I understand the lawyers... I can't do it, I'm sorry. As the moment my brain tries to create a Canadian accent, it just shuts off. Fun fact, Miyamoto Musashi was the most disrespectful samurai in existence. For a famous duel, he showed up late, carved up an oar to use as a weapon, insulted his foe, and then proceeded to murk the dude in one hit. How old is the baby here? Then do a Minnesto accent. Were you trying to say Minnesota? Did you fuck up Minnesota that much? Can't have a game of that edgy boy. Understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. He's not in there yet. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? Yeah, it's an irrelevant state. I don't have to respect it. Scrolllock, how are you doing? Glad that you're here. They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia, you can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon, is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls is responsible for her death? How was Bully Sozen doing an accent? How am I? I'm good but tired. How about that, eh? Do I have to finish every line of the judge with a or hoser or like a bag of milk? Autocorrect. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement, eh? Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. I think you're just exaggerating, eh? His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well, eh? There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted, eh? Correct, but in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony. Testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. You really think we don't all... Are you Canadian, Scrolllock? I did not know. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Oh, okay. Did not know. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. It was Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be a... Exactly. The victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. East or West Canada? I heard about Canadians a lot of A and sorry. Do I need to find like a South Park Canadian thing? The man who was sentenced to death based on testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now, eh? Huh? Yes, yes. It's Surrey, not Sort. Follow the only road. Yeah, fuck this judge for doing this already. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fey. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice, eh? Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. You're younger than her. Why you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness, eh? I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Gumshoe! With a different jacket. So this Mia Fey dies. She dies in the second case of the first game. Yeah, it's in the first game we played. In the second case, she gets killed. State your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe, and the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. She even lost a game? Darn. Yeah, that's why I think they put more of her in this game. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Yeah, can the witness please refrain from hitting on the defense attorney? Still some of the most useful on the team. No, seriously, my heart. It's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up in contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Urk. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident, eh? Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. Well, that much is already stated in the autopsy report, eh? The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself, sorry. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Look, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eel River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Why is Gumshoe a mobster now? Because I can't remember how to do his voice. Ah, sure. I see, eh? Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge, eh? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. You just did it yesterday? Yeah, never underestimate how terrible my memory is. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture, eh? If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that he even met there, eh? Your Honor. If you will listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. You can stop the accents. We're all good? Yeah, it's honestly wrecking my throat. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. I think it's still coffee. That's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Criminals stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Three monkeys! How are you doing? I'm glad to have you here. They certainly have established the importance of the bridge, eh? Naturally. Now, with the defense, please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination, eh? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're going to make me spill my coffee. Yeah, it's still coffee. I'm not trembling, it's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright, especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night. Remember all those YouTube videos you watched last night? Okay, press everything. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. If you wore an actual outfit, me, it wouldn't be so cold. It's a thermal suit. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left in her desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up, never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. That's an actual true thing. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, didn't expect him to be so sneaky. He was trained by Von Karma. On Dusky Bridge, okay. A bridge up on the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Which Karma was he trained by? I mean, with that whip. He was trained by Manfred Von Karma. Because this is 6 years prior. This is 1 year past the previous game. So at this point, Franziska Von Karma is 13. She's just become a prosecutor. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, don't move. We've got you surrounded. Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? Location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but left a note on her desk about it. If only I'd noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. Wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk, okay. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, man. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? Montgomery Sr. whipped people by breaking the soundbar with his finger snaps. What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne. In there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Yeah, because she's fucking dead. He probably has strong opinions about Putin. I did not notice the lock was broken. Would that counter, though, that he stole it? Because let's say this is back in the day where you could just break open a car and hotwire the front. Although there may be a button to open the boot. That's something known as fair. She's out in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this from the photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyway. I do. That is indeed Godot. Called, was it, what's his name? Diego Armando. My senior and rival at the office, a bit smug. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it, I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor, and then he always says... sorry, I told it a lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Falls arrested at a police checkpoint set up on the base of the mountain. That certainly is some impressive police work. This is a lost case, right? I actually am not sure. We know the case scarred her. We don't know if it was a lost case. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 PM. Fear that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. I mean, apparently the people he stole a car from identified him, and then a lady's corpse ended up in the trunk. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? Edward's undefeated before Phoenix. True, but also remember that Francisca Von Karma kept saying that Von Karma's fate is to be perfect, and she kept losing. No, it's not. Well, if you want to have a chance at all, you'd better get some more information. If you want to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. Look for contradictions afterwards. Ever famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Do I have to go through it again, pressing to look for a difference? Okay. Let's see, can I read that note? I can. Falls 4:30 at that bridge, wear white scarf for identification. Let's have a look at the photo. She has no scarf. Present. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Getting good at this? Oh, thank God by the third game in the second last case, I'm finally getting good at this. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten, want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Oh yeah, they've had Mia's voice for objections since, from the first case as well. Girl, come on, Mia, shake it off, you're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am? This photo, you said that there was nothing peculiar about it, is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. I'm an hour late for my tablet. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, man. And you stopped there, you should have looked for it. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? Sigh. I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for, is it this one, perchance? I don't know. Maybe we had to have the police do an investigation and find it. Ah. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge, I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. I wonder, is this case in the Edgeworth investigation files? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. That's not how this works. Yeah, exactly. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. That's not how any of this works. You are correct, Ryan. Court will accept the scarf into evidence. Let me have a look now. Okay. If the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Oh, I'd like to wrap the scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, if the defendant was the killer, why would he need identifying scarf? Make sure he murdered the right woman? Yeah, the idea is, I think the thought process is that he forgot what she looked like or something. The prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Alright, everything's moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? I feel like if you're breaking a prison for random someone, you probably remember what they look like. Yeah, there could be a chance they changed quite a bit. There's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was actually taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. Let me guess, is this going to be fucking Lotta? Lotta Hart again? Maybe not, because the picture's actually taken properly. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off, but in the picture, they're facing each other. Looking at this photo, you really get a sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. That is... yeah, that is bad. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Did not want to testify is not enough. You'll get dragged there if they have to. Yeah. Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Okay, so let me save. There's an eyewitness. Okay, press. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. A female college student? It's not Lotta, it's fucking Hawthorne. Dahlia. This game constantly reminds me that I need to be drinking coffee, BRB. No, Ryan, break the addiction. A female college student? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest in the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? I mean, she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Because she fucking saw it. That's the reason why. Please tell us more... Blech. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. We don't see a knife. The victim was wearing a scarf in the photo, alright. So about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? He was taking photos of wild flowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. As the spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. Drizzling that day, okay. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down, the whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now, haha. Shut the fuck up, Gumshoe. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case... The point is that the area is quite damp, there's even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge, it was really something. Wow, they managed to find a judge even worse than the usual one, I'm impressed. Yeah, the fact that the normal judge is a step up, gives me little faith in this whole judicial system. Down from behind. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right in her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. What the hell's brutal? Fun fact, in the Icelandic sagas, the worst thing that can happen to you is hearing a poem spoken from the grave of a dead hero. Because every time that has happened, the character we are following died like 5 years later. Interesting. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or are you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he says brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Oh, brutal. Brutal. Well, I wonder if he's Canadian. And, huh. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby, the court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, what where you spill your coffee? The court record, huh? That must have been when the scarf fell off. He is... Cappadanian? What? What? So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. From what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, man. The area was wet from rain, the bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. The red shirt guy looks like a Violus Godot. Welcome to 20 minutes ago, Fat Viking. Glad you caught up. So what do I do? It believes in fairy tales. In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony, hidden is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Okay, I want to save. I think I know what it is. Present. Nope, it's not that. I was thinking of this, or it is the photo of the body. 20 minutes is barely able to finish a map. Fair. Yep. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. This is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us to what isn't right. Her jacket. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a... If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, what the fuck, would be wet but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Yeah, because of the scarf. The scarf was found on the bridge, and the scarf is muddy. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Hair flick. Of course I can. The scarf. The evidence is this scarf. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is contempt of court worthy. Hey, same to you, buddy. Alright, me as a pretty fantastic shit-eating grin. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, look like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty well, for a little kitten. Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes, the false evidence in this case is the false evidence. I can save here. I'm guessing is the witness's testimony. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. Hair flick. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. False evidence is the body in the truck. It was taken before the meeting. She was just taking a nap. Oh yeah, because when I want to take a nap and I'm out of the house, what I do is I find a car, mine or otherwise, because either way I'm going to break the lock. I'm going to climb into it and just go for a nap. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place. She took an Uber, didn't want to have a conversation with the driver. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? I fear that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. Sigh, you should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well, please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? May Faye. Maya Faye. Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. You have to fade to black twice for that? Witness, what is your name and occupation? Miss fucking Dahlia fucking Hawthorne. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. You okay, Ryan? What the fuck about? Oh, thank God. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. Can we get a new judge, please? Can we get the old judge? An old bag, I was jumping out my window. Okay. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. I bet you're going to be mean to her. Look at her, she's so innocent. You're going to yell at her for lying. Shame on you. Hey, next year we find her guilty of murder, so you know. Hey, not so fast. A sigh. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Yeah, he literally just called her a bimbo. Sir? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. So she's prefacing that she's going to fuck up her testimony. Gotcha. Not at all, there's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. What? I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? But to make mistakes, she just witnessed a murder. Poor thing, would be traumatized. How can you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. Smile, close eyes, butterflies. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. But they weren't fighting in the photo. She's a delicate, innocent college girl. Who is this person I've never seen before? And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh ho, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Can the judge please refrain from hitting on the witness? A small but powerful model. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. He's still doing the A? Yeah. Look at this photograph. Save. In case I do get penalized just for pressing. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come, because that would make them open faster. Oh ho, I know just how you feel. It was like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the fact of the case, Your Honor? I noticed there are two people standing up on the suspension bridge. I think I know what's contradictory, but I'm just going to keep pressing. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Based judge. They just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? Eh? No, I've no idea. Why do you ask that? I just thought maybe you overheard what they said. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Fate, don't drag the witness down to your level. Isn't exactly what happened in the first case? When she was going up against Dahlia Hawthorne? That's when I hurried and took the photo. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So want to be a comedian, huh? Not that there's any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. Right at that I called the police. Interesting. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we'd already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? And then there must be something... That girl's a judge wrapped right around a little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in testimony of hers. Very good, Mia. Okay, so... two people standing up on the suspension bridge. I think I present the photo because they aren't fighting in it. Yep. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we'd refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Doe. My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry, I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? Or this photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wild flowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Then who was phone? You see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took a photo of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. Seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? When photos are turned in as evidence back in the day, the entire roll of film had to be turned in as evidence as well. That's what they were saying. Kind of. Just that the only photo of relevance is the one that's in the record. Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Are 59 photos of flowers in it, or she's lying? Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Huh. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. When they just started fighting. And her away about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Let's have a look at... Okay, there's no markers there for... Is this new testimony? They're fighting, turn around and try to run away. The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. What the fuck is quaggy? I'm googling this, because I have no idea what that means. Quaggy, marshy or boggy, flabby or soft. Wow. Wow, okay. Just right up calls her fat. If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's also something wrong with this testimony. She went about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. You asked me, both of them were in danger of falling off. Only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. But soft and moist and difficult. This seems kind of off. Ah, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out. This guy right now looks like he's posing for a Nestle ad. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange. Yes, be careful, kitten. That girl is... Yeah, we know. Run away, but... She took about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Check. But only got about 10 yards. Yeah, the bridge is out. Yeah, so if she was there, and the photo was of this, from the position where she was saying, then her turning to run would make no sense. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. Hair flick. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. Now me is being mean. There is no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well, then... she would have hit a dead end. She said 10 yards, but she couldn't even have ran 5. Because dusky bridges collapsed on that side. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court. Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. Well, what do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? Well, because the diagram was made after the incident occurred. So you're saying you produced a diagram for the court, knowing it was incorrect. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying, I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Huh, that guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. Alright, young lady, may I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. Smile, butterflies. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Yes, you are. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favourite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Huh, that's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Fay, your cross-examination if you please. The contradiction staring you in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. As usual, we save. After stepping in the back, quickly put him in his arms. Again, we're going to press everything. Literally bullying this innocent child of God. Yeah, and? Are you saying the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. So I don't need to be so rude. Well, young lady? Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. Huh, we're one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that? He carried her over to the car. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? Our words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. Only way you could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. No, that's what we're trying to establish. That kind of talk is just silly. Oh, this bitch again. Hey, Asti, how are you doing? Wow, why did you get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Fay, if you think there is some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. So I need to go back to this one. Because they're on top of a bridge. You could have just thrown the body over the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks, they just love cold, isolated places. Oh god, is this where the Curane is? Is this near Curane? I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. You see Baby Edgy? No, I didn't. Well, you'll see Baby Edgy here, and you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body. Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... You're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away, and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this... Yeah, I know what it is. Better to go... listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. Might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. Right over. Present. Yep. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Especially because of his own case. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Ooh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Sigh, shake head. How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. I wouldn't leave it up to chance, just leave it in some bushes on the mountain. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's methods of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. It's facing that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw, otherwise the mean lady might yell at you again. Who was he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. Okay. This is new testimony. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down in the... Oh yeah, we already did that. Sorry. This is the same, but now it's in Allegro. Care of the car. Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car. Yeah, because the cliffs were around her. She couldn't have seen it. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Ah. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? At this location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that's what she saw. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Yeah, the fuck? Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say, to err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Edgeworth has a point. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando? Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember. The other kitten's testimony. I don't know what it is, but he has it. Killer broke into the car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk, exactly? Aha. Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk, because there were marks left in the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks when he broke it, but he still couldn't have seen it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true, these certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Fay, are you satisfied? It is on her side, I can't make any mistakes here. Is there a contradiction somewhere? It doesn't work. Melissa Foster, looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. Even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally, I finally got her. Yeah, in the first case, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh, I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it'd be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... she put the body in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. Assuming that he stole the key, there was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. So what, this little girl lived an entire dead body? On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. Here's the thing. If she is using a fake name now, right? Because that's Valerie Hawthorne. If she is using a fake name, once Terry Falls left or whatever, there would have been no issue with Dahlia getting close to Valerie and then killing her herself. Especially if it was by the car. Okay, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been put Miss Foster himself. It's the timer. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto-timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Will the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Was she by the car? This is right here, I think. In the spot where the defendant's car was? Yeah, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Miss Faye? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. If she put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest, that must mean that Valerie Hawthorne's already dead at that point, correct? Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. It certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? Also, she isn't a little girl. How old is she? 19? Yeah, she could do that. The mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim? Well, it could have been a spirit, right? I mean, you do channel spirits. Miss Faye, don't waste the court's time with this kind of foolishness. Well, shit. Anyway, different place at the time. That was a long... You might as well just blame a ghost. Yeah. She was pretending to be her sister. The sister was already dead. She was pretending to be her. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order. Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? It's this. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf. Ah. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf that, like he asked, anyone could pretend to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No. Is she running away? Oh, she collapsed. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. To be continued. Save. Mr. Falls Eye. The fuck? I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle you've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Poisoned Godot when she was trying to poison Mia. Possibly. Now, we'll have to see exactly what happens, but in the first case it said that she was having coffee with Godot. Armando. Diego Armando. Talking about it when she left the table, so I'm uncertain. It looks the same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years? Ah, sorry buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Excuse me, what? Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl let her go. This is where the boss betrays Naked Snake and hands over nuclear weapons. Don't stick your dick in crazy. That is a rule to live by. You're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. Unless she's really... If he doesn't know what sex is. He has a daughter in the later games. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but it was her protective little sister. I can understand why she did it. What does Phoenix Wright have a kid? Adopted daughter. Okay, yeah, you're right. Metal Gear Solid 3 on stream would be fun. Yeah, if only I could play it legally on a computer. Also, I still have to do Metal Gear Solid 2 at some point. You son of it, his only love is justice. Wrong. No, protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. How old are you, sir? You're 25 now. You were 20 at the time. How old was she at that point? Why is he talking like Morden? Clearly this is Morden. Doesn't he look exactly like Morden? Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen too many soap operas. We think he was shot in the brain. I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says. Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note we send to her dad. Ask for a $2 million diamond, tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright? In the end, you're planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman. That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot me for real, me and Dahlia. Interesting. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river. Short people exist, Ryan. She could have been like 19 at the time and just short. Short because she's 15. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out, woke up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? Why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself? Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. The question is, when did she get murdered? Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? Zebra. Is that okay with you, Asti? Film. Any other words chat wants me to say? To hear my pronunciation? Okay, Ryan. America kept pronouncing aluminium wrong for so much, the scientific community just said, here, fuck it, we're tired of arguing, just call it what you want. Say colon. A semicolon. Semicolon. Yeah. You bastard. What? What am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Chat, what's wrong? What's going on? I don't know. It's not pronounced colon. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia? See, let's not get too political, shall we? That day on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Because no one wants Northern Ireland. Again, let's not get too political. I will just say that the next generation did predict Irish unification next year. Into Eagle River. It's the spirit of Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. You said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? ... Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. Never found her. Swallowed by river, gone, Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? And, I mean, he's already had the death sentence, right? Yeah, but I called it. Ruh-roh, Raggy. And it just got weird. Oh, it just got weird. He was 20, and she was 14 at the time. 14 at this point in time. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man oh man, angels these days. Yeah, the judge earlier on said ruh-roh. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really, It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Diamond out of the court record. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron's hot. That's one of my rules, remember it. I think also we're talking about how Shepard is robbing the cradle. Really? In what regard? Harris is like 25, Shep is 29. That's a fine gap. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor, I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Tally's age gap then. I don't know how old she is. Not this again. Tally is 19 in Mass Effect 1. Okay. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, so legal. Yes, also, is there... Let's try to find the morality of this quickly. Quarian life expectancy. 90 to 120. Human life expectancy in Mass Effect. About 150 years. We're supposed to see a Tally 22 in Mass Effect 1. However, try to pin on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Ha, you're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando, listen. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That's the line she keeps telling Phoenix. Shep is still 29. Yeah. It's not fucking tame. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is a mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. They're aliens, it's not the same. They romance in the second game. So it's what? 30 and 23? Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course. Mr. Of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? And that's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never... Wait. I'd never been to Eagle Mountain before. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Let's press everything first, like usual. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Okay, save, and we'll start pressing. So, what country are we living in then? Actually, first, just for sake, 19. 5 years ago, she would have been 14, yeah. So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad. But after my parents were killed, there was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't have any personal identification. That's how she faked her identity. What kind of sob story is this? I've already enjoyed this. My endurance is all used up. Need to go rest. Ryan, you don't have to expend any more energy than you need to. Thank you for popping by. I hope you rest well. What do I do? Should I press it for details? Yeah. A witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in, and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what we just said to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Let me press it first. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is she just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. My college had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors, picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. Don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. Me being savage, I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you, she's really gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time an officer showed her this photo. Possible, but that seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. A wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer testifies against you 5 years ago. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. What is the you gotta show evidence stuff they always will only work for you? Yeah, I know. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Fuck you, show me evidence, officer showed her the photo, dumbass. Yeah, that is right. Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. Press harder, always press harder. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right, that's why the victim was wearing a scarf for identification. Why, if I'd been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Add it to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. Prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer, and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf that day. Let's press it first. What did you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now, everyone is wearing scarves. If I'd accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando, keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. You knew about that incident. But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you're still living abroad 5 years ago, is that correct? Yes. Lay with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. Now, what do I want to... Holding a grudge and killing the officer testified against you 5 years ago. Certainly don't have any reason to hurt a police officer. Let's press this again. Maybe I did something wrong. Let's go through this again. Look through your evidence. Oh. Evidence. Photo of the trunk. Oh, shit. I accidentally pressed present. I did not mean to. Let's pop a save. Present. What do I have? Yeah. It's a black and white photo, which is annoying. By the witness on Dusky Bridge. Taken by the witness and changed for 5 years. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Oh, wrong thing. Nope, it wasn't that. Present. 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 What am I meant to present? That's the photo. I tried that, that didn't work. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Not that. Well, he wasn't wearing a white scarf. Mr. Bird, lawyer, I need an attorney who has no need for monetary gain. There hasn't been the case of Crytek fucking me on my ass all day. Okay. I have no need for monetary gain. I'd like it, though. How are you doing, Maple? Thanks for this. Thanks for gifting the sub, by the way. It is definitely appreciated. No. Well, how has Crytek been fucking you in the ass all day? No, I haven't established that yet. I'm missing something. It's brand new and sparkles in the light. Roughly. Didn't even buy dinner first? I was somebody don't need dinner. It's only just in the mood. Police materials written by the victim. Falls at that bridge, wear white scarf identification. At 1:21 PM. Wait. At 4:30. So she talked to Dahlia first. Look carefully at the evidence. I'm trying! Stabbed, knife in the back, time blood loss between 4 and 5 PM. That's the bridge. Doing that. Worn by the victim time incident found Dusky Bridge. Taken by the witness. Like that, okay. And then, with this, talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Photo of the trunk of Falls' car. There is no scarf there. She couldn't have known the scarf was white. I'll try it. Oh, that works. It's true. Mr. Falls did give instructions to that is true. I did not catch that. The scarf is blue, Solus. Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note that she left said, wear a white scarf for identification. Yes, what about it? Isn't obvious? Doesn't strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it the witness knows about it? Order, order. It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. In that case, the only way the witness could know about the note would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just... I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf. I suppose that makes sense. Come on, Mia, you can't let her weasel out of that easily. Witness, sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true, that's what I saw. Impossible, there's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him, because the scarf is blue. You said several times during testimony the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes, is something wrong? Hair flick. That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. Ah. I'm sure people will disagree about what to call its colour. Is it black and blue, or is it white and gold? However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note? No. It says, wear a white scarf for identification. Angry, white and gold. Are you sure about that, Maple? What did it even... It doesn't go... Okay. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster? No! Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one, the person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. They figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person to the contents of the note was... Wait, hold on, third person. I wasn't paying full attention. Her? That knew the contents of the note. Her... I wasn't paying attention. Dahlia Hawthorne. And that person is... Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This is Dahlia Hawthorne. Sigh. Miss Fay must be desperate if you're trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. Hair flick. You said she was killed. But was she really? What are you implying? Of course. People thought she had died 5 years ago when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. How can you object to that fact? She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she'd be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Ah. Even you couldn't. Miss Fay, you're not saying. Hairflick. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Huh. Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. Unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I expose your true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. What is a 3-alarm fire? Let me look it up while the court calms down. 3-alarm fire. Classifying seriousness. 3rd alarm fire. 3rd alarm fire. 12 engine companies, 7 ladder companies. This is in New York anyway. 6 battalion chiefs, 1 squad company, 1 rescue company, 1 deputy chief, 1 RAC unit, 1 satellite unit, 1 safety battalion chief, 1 SOC battalion chief, 1 tactical support unit, 1 field communications unit, 1 field communications battalion chief, 1 communications unit, 1 mask service unit, 1 air recon chief. Asti. Can I get a bonk for Asti, please? Witness, just who are you anyway? I'm... I didn't think it'd come... Thank you for bonking, Asti, Colsta. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't? You don't mean? Typically it means the alarms, lights in the truck, cars responding to multiple light settings. The prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Oh god. 3-alarm means all lights, sirens, etc. Okay, but also if the fact that Edgeworth knew for a fact that Melissa Foster was in fact Dahlia Hawthorne and deliberately hid it from the court, he should be disbarred right off the bat. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Huh. Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way, but then why? If he hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Again, there are no rules in these courts. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That was nothing to do with her current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. Shut the fuck up, Edgeworth. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. Huh. I think the diamond... Actually, yeah. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy. This crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. Ah, I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? Sigh, the rashes of youth, how charming. You're younger than her. It's coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister Valerie Hawthorne? The diamond. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? So I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye? Oh, that was... the rashes of youth. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save. Is it the note saying everything has to come out? The story starts after Terry... Oh, come on! After Terry Falls escaped, he called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Telling Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. Well, what testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Ugh! Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it will be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more? My little maple leaf, oh god. Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. This will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Oh my god. Okay, chat, for everyone who's here, whenever we raid Maple, when we go in, we have to say, how is my little maple leaf doing? That is what we're going to say. And we are going to save. And we are going to end the stream. There's still a little bit left in this trial solace. Yes, but it's 1 in the morning. So let's see. Is anyone else on? If only Maple's on, I could raid him. Dang. Uh, let's see. Is there anyone around? Let's have a look for uh Phoenix Wright for those who may still have a Phoenix Wright. Uh, Phoenix Wright thing. Ending stream. Dream with a cursed note. I see. Oh, of course, 100%. Um. Anyone around? Anyone around? How about this person? Yeah, this person is small. Let's raid this person. So, thank you, one and all, for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that's going to be more Phoenix Wright. But Friday's going to be multiplayer with Maple. You've yet to decide what we're going to do, but still. But yes, thank you, one and all. And take care of yourselves. Good evening.